What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Good Brothers Community Podcast, the Churchill Smoke Shop. I got my main man, my partner in crime, Mr. P. Powell to the third Powell. That's Mr. Preston Powell the third on this Friday night, latest night, Churchill Smoke Shop. Preston, tell me what's good.
Man, we good to be with Chad, another Good Brothers podcast. We're trying to get it back to where we were before, getting out here regularly. As we always start off, the cigar of the month, which is in your locker, Chad.
Okay, I
It's
go get
called
it.
the Wraith. That's
Ooh,
the LCD cigar of the month. Got like a little Casper Ghost. I thought that was like a little Black Sambo on there. I'm like, man, what the hell they sent us this time?
man, you just chop the one and chop it in half.
Yeah, I'm like, man, that's pretty bad there. But no, it's a
Right.
nice little, I'm gonna try it out. I hadn't smoked it yet. But in the meantime, when I'm smoking this out, I'm smoking one of them big boys like y'all like,
Know what I'm talking about.
7 8 cents or some of these 7x70s. So
Okay,
I said, well,
cool.
I'm gonna smoke one. I usually this is usually outside of my ring gauge.
Right,
I'm
right,
a Toro type guy. But I'm
right.
gonna smoke one of y'all big boys today.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
But Chad, you back from an eventful week. Did you with the Southern last week, didn't you?
Man, let me tell you something. Southern never disappoints. Well, they kind of did. The digital tickets didn't work. That Wi-Fi bubble wasn't bubbling, but I had a good time. Met up with some of my friends from Louisiana. Always a great time. I mean, the hospitality was great. Plenty of food, plenty of fun, plenty of conversation, plenty of laughter, and some pretty good football. And Southern ended up getting hazed.
Well, people don't know this, but you almost went to Southern.
I did. Coach Smith, man, shout out to Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Great guy. The only difference was I did not want to play offensive line. That was the only difference. They wouldn't let me play defense. So Big Daddy Jackson State said, hey, you want to play defense? You're going to play defense. I did both of them in high school, even though I'm an offensive lineman by trade and I was more of a defensive lineman by default. So I learned how to play defense at Jackson State.
That's a good deal. Good deal. Kept it at home, kept it on the home front.
That's right.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But Chad, so this week, wanted to get your take. So you saw everything that went on with Shedeur this week. First, let's start off with Rex Ryan comments. If you don't know what they are, here you go right here.
Stefanski is one of an outstanding coach. All right. But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
Now, hearing that, what was your take when you heard Rex Ryan go off like that?
I'm gonna do this from two perspectives. Rex Ryan's a former coach, former player. I think I coached football for a long time, so I get what he's saying, but that get along to go along, man, that ain't him. Right. I'm gonna go with Steven Jackson said. To be successful, you got to be you.
Yeah.
And that's Shedeur. Shedeur has confidence. He was raised that way. Prime raised him that way. He knows who he is. He knows what he is not. And what he is not a third string quarterback. I'm just be honest. He is not a third string quarterback. But however, it is what it is because I'm gonna tell you something about karma. What goes around comes back around. Like Steven Jackson said, all you gotta do is go to the facility, get in the film room and work. Get on the practice field, work, learn. And when this time comes, they'll be ready.
But he's still working. He's just doing it in the college campus. Well, first of all, I didn't hear nothing that he said that warrant that. All he said was, "I believe I can be a starting quarterback in this league." Now, who's I don't understand what was so bad about that statement.
It wasn't what was bad about the statement. It's my thing is why y'all talking to a third string quarterback?
Right. I mean, yeah.
I know why. Because it's clickbait.
Yeah. Well, and people want, and he's the attraction.
But you know what it also does, though? Now, I could be wrong, but you know what it also does? It helps the Browns organization to continue to try to spin a narrative on Shedeur.
What was that preseason game? with like 3 million people, the most watched preseason game in like
Yeah,
20 years,
right.
something
Exactly.
like that. So that
Yeah.
yeah,
So, like I said, I think it gives the Browns the opportunity to continue to spin the narrative and continue to justify unjustifiable bullcrap.
well, I thought when I thought about what Rex Ryan said, I thought it was some bullshit.
Yeah, it
Because I
was.
was like, what the fuck? I mean, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
I mean, think about it. You say get to the front room, study. You should be embarrassed. I'm like, what are you
Kiss
talking about?
ass. That's what they did. Kiss ass.
Yeah, like
Kiss
that.
ass.
That didn't make no sense to me because, like you said, Chad, he's still they put him on. What they expect him to put himself in the game?
Right. So you can get
He's still a
fined.
third string quarterback. If but
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Okay.
Everybody know he shouldn't have slid to the fifth round. You're basically
True.
telling on yourself. Because if you truly believe he was a fifth round quarterback, it wouldn't be all this hubbub with him, the media surrounding him all the time. Then you saw Dan Orlovsky say, we saw his interview, yesterday, when he
I
decided,
saw
hey,
it.
look, you know what, I'm just gonna meme. And then Dan Orlovsky is saying, like, oh, that's hurting you. You shouldn't. But like you said earlier, Jay, he was third string quarterback. He didn't put
Right.
himself third string. If it's up to Shedeur, he'll be playing.
Some people just want to be relevant, Preston. You know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Some people want to be relevant. Again, why are you talking to a third string quarterback? It just so happened to be that third string quarterback is Shedeur Sanders, one of the better quarterbacks who's deep down on some organization's depth chart, who should not be, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
however, again, it gets the opportunity for that organization to justify why he's there third string.
It is wild. It's wild. It really literally don't make no sense. The kid can't win if he don't say nothing. Then he do say something. They say he's saying too much or saying something he shouldn't say, which
Right.
nobody has said what he said that shouldn't have been said. To me, like I said earlier, all he said was, I can play in this league.
You know what, Preston? I'm a spin it from your perspective. Now, I
Okay.
just thought about something. Just like you sent me some stuff about the Houston Texans, and I say, yeah, C.J. Stroud running like Mr. Candy chasing out the Django,
Right.
and that's the way the Browns are treating Shedeur Sanders. I'm gonna go and say it.
Yeah.
They treat Shedeur like Django.
Right. Right.
But what happens when the rabbit get the gun? In the sweet by and by, Lord. Okay. When he end up playing and opt out of contract, then you lost.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see him. So, what do you think? I mean, Dylan Gabriel, for those who don't know, has been named the starter for this coming weekend. But it seems like everybody's looking over him. How long you think before Shedeur plays?
To be honest, this might sound crazy. I'll give it 3 games. However, they're gonna put Joe Flacco in before they push it in.
You think they go back to Flacco before they put Shedeur?
Yes.
That would be wild.
I'm gonna tell you why. To
Man, they might
save
burn
face,
Cleveland down for that.
to double down on why they're not playing Shedeur.
Yeah, they'll burn
And
Cleveland
all
down
that
for
and
that,
all that's coming from old boy the owner. I guarantee it.
bro.
Think about it. But who the end? Who's it gonna fall on?
Well, as far
Kevin
as
Stefanski, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah,
the head coach, right? He the scapegoat. He the one got to manage all that.
yeah, yeah. That's wild. That'd be crazy if they go back to the front. But they did list Joe Flacco as a backup, though.
That's my whole point.
That's crazy.
Now, if I was the head coach, I made a change like that, I move everybody up on the depth chart, and Joe Flacco be third, and it's all business. No knock against Joe Flacco. I like Joe Flacco. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a veteran in
Yeah.
the locker room.
I mean,
He's
you
a
need a Joe.
consummate
Yeah,
professional.
yeah. You
You know,
need.
and he can help guide the quarterback room.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems like y'all creating tension. But here's the thing that's also going to be crazy when they see the relationship, especially becoming Joe Flacco and Shedeur.
What do you think the players thinking?
Is what you said is some bullshit.
Yeah.
They see it. Come on
Yeah.
now, they see it. you saw it in the preseason game. The response was very different than any other quarterback that played.
Yeah.
When Shedeur got in the game, it was more energy, it was more communication, they were more livelier, there were a lot more movement. When Flacco was in the game, we were like, oh hell, just I'm just trying to hold on to get the Chick-fil-A.
The wild part about it, I think what they defense is top 5
Mm-hmm.
in the league right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they handle Dylan Gabriel this weekend, though. You think they're gonna play it safe with him as possible?
Yeah. They don't keep the
Yeah,
reins in on him. He's a very good talent.
yeah,
But again, he's caught up in something that has nothing to do with him.
right. Yeah.
And it's sad. And it's sad. It's
Uh-huh.
sad.
It is. I mean, but I don't know a person or a pundit that has said that Dylan Gabriel was at Shadeur's level. So with that being said, it's like you said, you have to create this narrative to why he's third string. When
Right.
even in the preseason, you saw him outplay Dylan Gabriel. Then every report we heard out of training camp that he was outplaying Dylan Gabriel. And then you had that one piece of the game where they just threw Shedeur in with the. I think statistically speaking, they said only one of those linemen they kept on the practice squad. Everybody he
Right.
played with was cut the next day, you know, but they holding on to him. So that's the part I don't get. I mean, if you want to cut bait, and I know it's money, but you could have put
Which,
him on the practice squad and see if he cleared waivers. But I think they kind of realized somebody would pick him up.
yeah, but would you want to let go of somebody who can come back, stay in the division, and come back and hurt you? And then you're gonna look like, a simp in the media? So the Browns organization, a once celebrated organization, and once upon a time with the likes of Bernie Kosar and what's my man name that played tight end, Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you're thinking about it along that lines. You see, he's popular in Cleveland to some extent because the fans want to see him play.
of course.
So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I'm just interested to see. Now I guess now we got to give a fair shot. Dylan Gabriel can go in there and show out.
Yeah, he could.
And if he goes in there and show out, then all bets are off.
Yeah, but what happens when he does? He might go, let's say, 25 for 29 this game,
Uh-huh.
325, but the next week he go 13 for 30 for 133 picks, lost fumble, and no first down. Then what happens then?
Oh, they hold it on Shedeur for the rest of the year, no matter what. They're not gonna let him get out of their fold until they're absolutely sure, which I don't think they ever will be sure that Dylan Gabriel was the guy.
Nah, I don't. I don't think he was the guy. However, I think it's a lot of the nasty, uh, unsaid things, unwritten things that comes from upper management,
Uh-huh.
and I think that has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I mean he can't win no matter what he does. So
Right? Damn you do,
so
damn you
I
don't.
I'm sure the mime thing will probably end it. He probably did that just a response to Rex Ryan and what he was saying. So he went with the mime and not say anything at all. Um, then we'll see what happens. Probably won't speak this weekend until after the game. And
Right?
then probably decide on what happens in the game, whether he says something at all. Because no matter what, after this game Sunday, they're gonna be crowded around his locker. And the
Right?
camera gonna be on him the whole time during that
Right?
game.
I
So,
agree.
and I hope, I'm sure he got people around him letting them know, like, hey, they're gonna be watching your every expression. So, be mindful of what you do and stuff like that. It's a shame that he's in this spot because he hasn't done nothing himself to deserve to be here.
Very true. But however, they chose to sacrifice Shedeur, and I use those words. That's exactly what's happened. They're sacrificing Shedeur for the mistakes that they have continued to make in their organization when it came to personnel.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing he can do about it. It is what it is. So he got
Right,
to play it out the way it plays out. So I
right.
mean, he can't do nothing about that. But and let's to be fair to people who are not in just our sounding area, we are biased.
We are.
Shedeur went to Jackson State,
Right,
and
right.
we have connections with Prime up in Colorado and stuff. So we are biased in that regard, but it doesn't take any bias to see what's going on in Cleveland.
Right.
And I don't, and then I think one of the issues that the power structure has is this new media,
Right.
the Good Brothers podcast, all these podcasts, all these people who talking directly to other people and letting people know like, hey, this is some bullshit. And it's
Right.
not like it was in the past when you heard it on TV and it was just a little small group discussion about it and it never got out there and challenged people to think about what they're looking at. And
Right.
just
Exactly.
simple discussion like like you said it best. Most people just stop paying attention. Shedeur is listed as a third string quarterback. Why are you crowding around his locker?
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel is starting for the first time. Your third round pick. Why are you interviewing Shedeur?
Right.
I think I
And
saw
my
him on TV one time, and the interview I saw him on was at the podium, and that was a press conference set up for him. So,
see what I'm saying?
why you at Shedeur live?
Exactly.
No, but but if anybody's built for this, I think he is.
Right.
So, I mean, he's been living his life. He's prepared for this moment.
Right.
He's been involved in big moments before. And, I don't think he's intimidated by what's going on. And I don't think he's intimidated by the things the media says. I think he's gonna shine regardless of how the situation plays out. But I'm just
Right.
interested to see how long before. I don't think they pull the plug. Do you think there's any chance? Let's say Dylan Gabriel gets off to a rough start. Do you think there's any chance they pull?
Not immediately. Like I said, I give him 3 games, and I think they're gonna go back with Joe Flacco.
So you think they'll give Dylan Gabriel 3 games, then go to Joe Flacco?
Yep.
And what if Joe Flacco struggles again?
Then they're gonna try to go back to Dylan Gabriel and really keep the reins in on him. Script plays. First 10 to 12 plays scripted instead of check calls that make the checks and stuff for him. I'm telling you.
So you don't see Shedeur playing at all this year?
I'm not gonna say that, but it's gonna have to be something drastic. Gotta be something drastic. Because again, if it was meant for Shedeur to play, he'll be playing right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, it's interesting to see. We're gonna see how it plays out this weekend. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. What you thought about Rex Ryan, Dan Orlovsky, and just the general media consensus of what's been going on as far as, to me, how they slight you more than anything else. For guys that changes. So you heard our girl Molly Quam got a new job, huh?
what?
Yeah. NBC.
What?
NBC scooped her up.
Okay.
Said they're gonna build a little platform around her. She's gonna be doing bigger events.
Okay. I can dig that.
So seeing that, do you think First Take will suffer without her being there?
Yeah, because she pretty as hell.
Huh?
Yeah, because she pretty as hell.
Well, yeah.
Nobody want to look at them.
That's something too you gotta think about. But you can't find just anybody to replace you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just know anybody gonna be able to replace
You gonna get Asia Wilson?
Right. What Jackson State at this weekend?
And Mobile against Alabama A&M. And what used to be called the Azalea Classic.
Okay.
But now it's called the Gulf Coast Classic. It used to be called the Azalea Classic. Didn't even know they played that like that in the 70s.
Before we get out of here, I will say, LSU Tigers lost to Ole Miss, and I had to hear that shit all week from these Ole Miss people.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. It's a game they should have won. Defense played well. Defense was on the field way too long, so they wore down toward the end of the game.
Yeah.
And still had a chance to pull it out, when the offense was just struggling.
Right.
And that's why I got that. But, this week is our off week, but then Van Buren from Mississippi, the former quarterback of Mississippi State that transferred to LSU, he took all the first team snaps this week.
Interesting.
But they said they trying to let Nuss rest up his energy.
I can see that.
But I think, hopefully he get a shot to get on the field and get some reps in. So you don't have to let a game play out like that before you can. At least you should have put him in for a few plays because Ole Miss was dropping 8 every time. You drop 8, you just run the ball, man. Just
pretty much.
Yards to click, run slide.
Right.
Down the field.
Right. You're right.
Bring them back into the box.
Right.
So
keep them honest. Yeah.
Well, we just got the notification, Chad. So we got anything else to say?
Hey, man. Hey, like always, man, come see us at Churchill Smoke Shop. 10% discount if you mention the Good Buzz Committee podcast. I guarantee you, come by yourself, you'll leave as a friend. This is the Good Buzz Committee podcast at Churchill Smoke Shop.
Well, with that being said, as we said, the cigar of the month this month was the Wraith. If you're a Provider Club member, it's already in your locker. If you're not, you can still buy it in the shop. It's in the humidor, as Chad said. We're here all weekend, college football, NFL, Sunday fun day. If you're familiar with Churchill Smoke Shop, you're familiar with what we do and how we do it.
That's right.
You come in, you're going to depart, like Chad said, you're going to depart a friend. You're going to meet somebody. And if you don't know anybody, you're going to become a friend real fast.
That's right.
We enjoy what we're doing, and we enjoy people who enjoy what we do.
Exactly.
That being said, Preston Powell, Chad Ford, Good Brothers Committee. See you guys later. Oh, before we go, Chad,
what's up?
State Miami, who you got?
Ooh, Miami.
Chad, Darian, Johnny, love to hear that.
Yeah, I got Miami. Yeah, I do. I got Miami by.
I think Florida State gonna beat them.
I got Miami by 6.
Yeah, I think Florida State gonna beat them. All right, guys. With that being said, we holler at y'all later. Peace.
Peace out.
All right.